All right, these are your directions for setting up the double stuff and regular stuffed Oreo lab. Okay, first you need to have this paper. Okay, you should have picked it up at station 5. Our question for the lab: does double stuffed Oreos have double the amount of filling? Okay, so we want to test if they actually do have double the amount of filling. Your first thing you need to do is to write a hypothesis. Okay, remember your hypothesis needs to be written in if-then form. Once you've written your hypothesis, then you're going to identify your independent variable and your dependent variable for the lab. You're also going to, on a separate piece of paper, if you don't have a notebook piece of paper, you can just tear one out of your ISN. You're going to create your data table. Okay? Your data table should look like this, where you have the type of Oreo, regular Oreo, double stuffed Oreo. You also have trial 1, trial 2, and trial 3. So we're going to be testing them 3 times. You also need to write mass of napkin. Okay, because we're going to be finding out the mass of the napkin. Then in the bottom portion of the table, you have your graph. Okay, the space for your graph for once you find the mass of the fillings. You'll be able to graph those across the bottom for trial 1, trial 2, and trial 3. Okay, and notice we've got R and DS at each trials. R represents regular, DS represents double stuffed. Okay, and then along this side, we have the mass. Okay, and we won't fill in those numbers until we get our data all set. Okay, once you have your data table set up, your graph, and everything on a piece of paper set up, your hypothesis, and your independent and dependent variables identified, bring it all to me, and I will initial, and then give you the Oreo so that you can start the lab.